Everyone saw the tattoo before they saw her face, but only one man in that crowd knew what it really meant. And the moment he recognized it, the entire graduation field seemed to stop breathing. It happened in broad daylight, during the Marine Corps graduation at Parris Island, where families stood shoulder to shoulder under the sun, cheering, waving flags, and fighting back tears. But when the newly promoted Marine Admiral, Thomas Rourke, stepped onto the stage and locked eyes on a woman in the crowd, the celebration fractured. His gaze dropped to the ink on her forearm, a simple black insignia, shaped like a crescent, crossed with a broken arrow, and his entire posture changed. The crowd sensed it instantly. Something was wrong. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Rourke didn't blink. He just stared, not at the woman but at the silent message etched into her skin. And she knew. She felt his recognition like a wave of heat rolling over her, stronger than the sun itself. For years she believed the tattoo had become nothing more than a fading reminder of a past she buried, a unit that was wiped out, a mission that was never spoken of in public, a promise she had failed to keep. She thought she'd never see him again. She was wrong. As the graduates marched forward in crisp formation, the woman, Elena Ward, tried to steady her breathing. Dust drifted off the bleachers with every stomp of boots. Her coffee cup trembled in her hand, tiny ripples marking the panic she fought to hide. Parents around her whispered, following the Admiral's stare, the energy shifting from joy to unease. Rourke finally stepped off the stage. He moved fast for a man of his age and rank, parting the crowd with nothing more than the authority in his walk. Murmurs rose, neighbors craning their necks, a few soldiers instinctively stiffening as he passed. Elena wanted to disappear. She pulled down her sleeve, but it was too late. He had already seen. When Rourke reached her, the world around them seemed to fall away. The parade music softened. Even the wind paused. "You wore it," he said quietly. Not an accusation, not admiration, just truth. Elena swallowed. It wasn't supposed to mean anything anymore. "That symbol never stops meaning something," he replied. His jaw tightened. "Especially not today." Her son Lucas stood just a few rows ahead in his new uniform, face glowing with pride. He had no idea why everyone had suddenly shifted their attention toward his mother. No idea what that symbol meant. No idea that his admiral and his mom shared a history carved in blood and loss. Rourke exhaled slowly, his voice low enough that only Elena could hear. "You saved 5 of us that night. You vanished before we could thank you. They told me you didn't survive." "I almost didn't," she whispered. "And I didn't want him." She nodded toward Lucas, growing up with the shadows I carried. The Admiral's eyes softened, but the tension around them sharpened as soldiers nearby realized something extraordinary was happening. A crowd gathered, quietly, respectfully, sensing a history larger than the ceremony they came for. Then in one fluid motion that froze the entire field, Admiral Rourke stepped back, raised his hand, and saluted her. Gasps rippled through the daylight air. Lucas turned just in time to see the highest-ranking officer on the base honoring his mother, a woman he always believed lived a quiet, ordinary life. Tears pooled in Elena's eyes, but she held the salute, hands steady despite the storm in her chest. The graduates stood taller. Parents wiped their faces. Even the young Marines who didn't know her felt the weight of the moment, the acknowledgement of a silent hero. When Rourke lowered his hand, he spoke with the voice of a leader who owed a debt. "Your son serves with the courage you gave him. The world deserves to know that, even if you never wanted credit." Elena didn't answer. She didn't need to. Bright daylight washed over her as Lucas rushed toward her, confusion giving way to awe when he finally understood. In that moment, she wasn't just his mother. She was the reason he had the strength to become a Marine. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. Just like a forgotten symbol that suddenly means everything again. If this story moved you, let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more powerful human stories told with heart.